All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we're going to unpack the data driving a massive shift toward the Bhiwandi Kalyan corridor for luxury and high-yield real estate. If you follow emerging micromarkets at all, you know that timing is absolutely crucial, right? Well, today, we're going to look at the hard numbers and the actual visual proof of an area undergoing a total transformation.
So here is our quick roadmap for today. First up, the macro opportunity. Second, the investment math. And third, the micro experience. Let's get to it.
Starting with Section 1, the macro opportunity. Let's see exactly how heavy government backing and strategic planning are completely reshaping this specific corridor. Now, as you can see, the existing infrastructure in this corridor already offers some really solid connectivity. You've got a robust network of state highways and railways linking the area right up to major hubs. But look, as a savvy investor or a future homeowner, you don't just want to buy into the present, right? You want to buy into the future. You want to spot the path of progress before everyone else does. And man, this is where the transformation actually happens. We're seeing a massive, massive influx of new, proposed, and under construction routes all converging right in this zone. We're talking about the upcoming Mumbai Metro Line 5, the highly anticipated Virar-Alibag multimodal corridor, and the new Dombivli-Titwala ring roads. When you overlay this new infrastructure on top of what's already there, you realize this corridor is deliberately being engineered into a mega connectivity hub. And the best part, there's a strict timeline attached to all of this. We are not talking about some vague promises of someday. Recent reports show Phase 1 of Metro Line 5, that's between Thane and Bhiwandi, is already over 97% complete. They're targeting trial runs by the end of 2026. On top of that, the MMRDA literally just invited bids for Phase 2 and 3 to extend Line 5 all the way to Ulhasnagar, and the contractor is going to be put on a highly aggressive 48-month clock, meaning drastically shorter commutes are right around the corner. And you know what that does to property values. On the ground level, this translates to incredibly smooth, wide-lane access right via the Mumbai-Agra highway. A strategic location here literally puts you just 2.5 kilometers from the Ranjmoli junction. So whether you're commuting to Thane, Mumbai, or the airport, this kind of robust highway access just totally removes the daily friction of traveling. Okay, moving on to Section 2, the investment math. Let's pivot from the roads to the cold, hard numbers, because honestly, the financial side of this is what's truly compelling. So, here is the absolute game changer, this massive price gap. For a standard 600 square foot 2 BHK in Thane, specifically in Bhiwandi, you're looking at a base ticket size of around 80 lakhs. But over in the Bhiwandi Kalyan corridor, that exact same footprint drops to just 50 lakhs. That is a 30 lakh rupee difference. It's a huge capital advantage, just for shifting your focus slightly outward to a corridor that's rapidly catching up in connectivity. And hey, it's not just about spending less upfront. The Bhiwandi Kalyan corridor is actually outpacing neighboring micromarkets when it comes to passive income. Because of the booming demand from nearby warehouse and industrial clusters, the expected rental yield here sits at a highly lucrative 3.33%. When you compare that to Bhiwandi at 2.43%, or Pimplener at 2.63%, it becomes pretty obvious where your capital is going to work the hardest every single month. Industry experts actually call this dynamic the wise choice. It's all about balancing travel time against that price differential. Think about it. You have nearly identical travel times from major hubs, like 20 minutes from Bhiwandi versus 25 minutes from the Bhiwandi Kalyan corridor to keynotes. But the base price per square foot here is just drastically lower than places like Majiwada or Thane proper. It's classic spatial arbitrage. You get the same access at a fraction of the cost, which leaves tremendous room for capital appreciation once that metro finishes up. All right, Section 3, the micro experience. We've validated the location and the math, so let's zoom all the way in and look at a specific case study for luxury right in this corridor. Sculpting an opportunity worth experiencing. That's the motto, and it perfectly captures the vision behind the House of Hiranandani's new Coriander and Woodspring project. They aren't just putting up another housing block, they're actively creating a local landmark. I mean, just look at this signature neoclassical facade. It brings such an unmatched level of stately symmetry, elegance, and history right to the development. It's the kind of aesthetic that elevates the entire neighborhood, ensuring the property stands out as a true premium asset from the second you pull up to the grand entrance. Let's break down the practical specs. We are talking about a sprawling 4.5-acre property featuring 3 majestic towers. They offer really efficient 1 and 2 BHK layouts, ranging from 445 to 641 square feet of carpet area. And they've really thought of the details, from premium vitrified flooring in the living spaces to concealed plumbing and highly secure electrical conduits. It's an incredibly high standard of safety and comfort.
And of course, these technical specs are meant to translate directly into real life. When you pair these wide-open spaces with thoughtfully designed private lobbies and that grand architecture, everyday living stops feeling like a routine, you know? It starts to feel a lot more like a retreat.
Plus, the ecosystem comes with over 15 incredible lifestyle amenities. Whether it's taking a walk through the lush Miyawaki forest for a mental reset, hitting the swimming pool, hanging out in the open-to-sky sports lounge, or using the reflexology path and senior citizen area, these amenities mean you aren't just buying an apartment. You're upgrading your entire lifestyle in a curated community.
So, what's the bottom line? Given the amenities and the macro location, the starting all-inclusive price for a premium 1 BHK sits at 63.60 lakhs. Remember that 30 lakh differential we talked about earlier compared to neighboring areas? Yeah, this represents an incredibly strategic entry point into a high appreciation asset.
And hey, if you need a bit more space for a growing family, the 2 BHK layouts present an equally amazing value, with all-inclusive pricing starting at 87.24 lakhs. You get all that same neoclassical grandeur and the full suite of luxury amenities. So wrap your head around how rapidly this area is transforming. The heavy infrastructure is fully funded and actively being built. The rental yields are literally outperforming the neighbors, and the luxury living experience is already established. With that 48-month clock actively ticking down on the next phase of the metro, the window for this kind of early adopter pricing is definitely narrowing. The only question is, are you going to position yourself before this corridor hits its inevitable peak?